Hi, we're here today to demonstrate how to inspect a chain sling. It's required by OSHA that a chain sling inspection be done every day prior to use. Also, you have to have a periodic inspection done. That's a once a week to once a month inspection done internally. Written records are not required for the periodic inspection. However, we are doing the annual inspection. That is once every 12 months. A documented inspection is required to be completed for each chain sling in service. So first of all, we're going to grab our chain sling. We are going to look at it, make sure it has a tag. The tag is the most critical part of a chain sling. It's required by OSHA and ASME B30.9 that a chain sling has a tag, and it is also legible at all times as well. So over time, chain slings, the tags will get greased up, they'll get gunk on them. So what we'll do is we'll put this on a hoist, and then we will use a good welder's brush to clean the tag to make sure we can clearly read and understand what each component is on the sling tag. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the reach on the tag matches the reach of this actual sling. On a shorter sling, such as this, that's 4'7", we can go and measure. Can you help me here, Kale, and hold the tape measure down at the sling hook at the bearing point? And we will come up to the bearing point of the master link, and it is 4'7". So it does match what the tag says on it. Another way of doing this is to lay the chain out on the ground. And if you have to do this, you have to make sure that the chain is all in the same plane. There's no twist to it. And then you would also, thank you, Ryan, you would also go from the bearing point to the bearing point, and you measure 4'7". The tag reach is going to be 4'7". If it comes out to be 4'6½", 4'6¾ that is fine, because generally when the manufacturer assembles a chain sling, they will round up or down on the fraction of an inch, which is, it's acceptable, that's fine. You don't really want to have fractions of an inch on a sling tag. It's going to be rounded off up or down to the capacity, to the length of the sling overall. So next one thing we want to do is we want to start off then, once we see the tag's legible, it's on the sling, we want to make sure that our master link is in good condition. So we'll do a thorough inspection of our master link, make sure there's no wear from the crane hook, no wear from the mechanical coupling links on the bottom. This is acceptable. And another thing we want to make sure there's no deformation. So when master links stretch, they will elongate just like a chain link will and come in and kind of form a figure 8. And you'll see the intern of the material, the rod material, kind of coming in and forming that figure 8 if you overload a master link. This one is in good condition. Also, we want to make sure that we have not exceeded during the service life of this master link to go beyond the 120-degree inclusive angle at the bottom. The entire contents of the lifting triangle down below is 180 degrees. That means that 120 degrees here is the maximum. That leaves 60 degrees remaining for the horizontal angle of lift, which is 30 degrees down below. That's the minimum angle that you're allowed to lift with a sling. If you would happen to go down to 10 degrees, and you would be able to, you actually make a lift with a master link at 10 degrees, you are basically vertically pulling apart this master link. And you would see this actually literally coming apart, opening up rather than coming in together. So this one looks really good. So we can put this on our hoist hook. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our mechanical coupling links. We're going to make sure they fully articulate 180 degrees. Which these do smoothly and easily. We're going to look for any bearing wear or deformation on our connecting links. They're perfectly fine. Then we're going to take our chain, we're going to start looking at our chain. So we are going to look at it link by link as we go up and lift up the chain up onto our hoist. we are going to take it so we can turn it 360 degrees. We can look between the links for any bearing wear, for any nicks, gouges, bent links, stretch links. And as we go up, we'll do this in sections, take a look at it, look between. We look pretty good. The chain also, by the way, has to be clean prior to doing any inspection. So you have to be able to see the steel link by link as you're going up doing the individual link inspection. Okay, and as we go up, and also the other thing I'm doing is I'm matching up the weld marks on each link as I go up. So I'm turning it, I'm looking for nicks, gouges. I'm also matching that. And what that does, it looks for stretch. And one indicator, another indicator of stretch is when you get to the bottom, you should be able to put your finger into the sling hooks at the bottom, and they should line up almost exactly even. There might be a slight variance, but as long as you're within one link diameter or so, you should be fine. When a manufacturer assembles a sling, they assemble it so that the hooks are even at the bottom. So this one, we come down and we look at it. One critical part of a chain sling to look at is the last link that goes into the sling hook. And that is actually the load pin on the sling hook. You want to actually take that last link and push it in a little bit and look at the radius on the load pin, and also take a look at the radius on the last link. Because a lot of times what will happen if you drag a chain sling across the ground, which we recommend you do not do, is as that chain is fishtailing, what it's doing is it's banging and it's grinding and it's rubbing off the chain link material, and it's also grinding on this, but when it's fishtailing, it's banging the inside. So a lot of the bearing wear is actually going to occur down at these last couple of links, and especially at the link at the sling hook itself. So this one looks good. Take a look at this one. The pin looks like it's got full radius. The link looks like it's got full radius, and we are exactly even at the bottom. So the next criteria that we have to look for is the hook. So hooks, generally the chain sling as a whole is governed by ASME B30.9. The master link, the coupling links are governed by ASME B30.26. The hooks are ASME B30.10. And the criteria, really what we're looking for, is that load pin has got a good radius to it. We don't have any material loss. We want to look and see that the hook doesn't have any scrapes where you remove more than 5% of the material width at the backing, or 10% if it's an eye, 5% in the eye, or any 10% material wear or deformation in the bowl of the hook. From, let's say, continuously putting on a shackle or a sling, and it starts digging in and rubbing in, and you can start getting rollover of the steel down in the bearing point, that's criteria to take it out of service, replace it with a good hook, and you're back in service. Another thing we're looking for is any openness of the hook. So we want to make sure that that hook, when we're looking at it, that the retainer latch, this is a retainer latch, not a safety latch. We want to make sure that the retainer latch fully engages. If it has any opening at all, the likelihood of the hook having stretch or being open is really good. Another way of looking at it is taking two hooks that are similar and superimposing one onto another. You can take a look and see if you see any stretch there. Another thing we're going to do is we're looking for any twist. So any twist of the tip of the hook should line up with the center hole or the center of the load pin. And what that indicates is that, okay, the hook has been lifting in a straight inline pull, and there was no side loading of it. So at side loading, you would end up getting a twist, and any twist, 0 degrees from center plane out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees. Any twist in the hook, you have to remove it from service. That's criteria. So this hook right here, no bearing wear, no deformation, no wear on the side. This hook looks good. This hook lines up fine. The retainer latch fully engages. No scraping, no wear. So this sling as a whole passes the inspection for this year. And so that pretty much completes the inspection of a chain sling. Thank you.